In the late 1500s, England's dream of expansion in the New World was beginning to take shape. The idea was simple: build a colony in the Americas, claim land for the crown, and spread British influence across the globe. But there's one chapter of this story that remains unsolved, a story shrouded in mystery, loss, and uncertainty. It all began with Sir Walter Raleigh, a bold adventurer and courtier in Queen Elizabeth I's court. Raleigh was not just any courtier. He was a man of vision and ambition, always looking beyond the horizon. His charm and wit made him a favourite of the Queen, but it was his daring spirit that set him apart. Raleigh believed that establishing a British presence in the Americas would secure England's future as a global power. He envisioned vast lands rich with resources, waiting to be claimed and cultivated. His dream was to create a new society that would reflect the glory of England, a place where the British flag would fly high and proud. In 1584, he sponsored an expedition to the coast of what would become North Carolina. This was no small feat. The journey across the Atlantic was perilous, fraught with dangers from treacherous waters to the unknown challenges of the new land. Yet Raleigh's determination was unwavering, to set up the very first permanent English colony in the New World. This colony, known as Roanoke, was meant to be the foundation of a new era of British expansion. Although the fate of Roanoke remains a mystery, Raleigh's ambition laid the groundwork for future endeavours that would eventually lead to the establishment of a lasting British presence in America. Raleigh's first attempt to settle on Roanoke Island began in 1585, a bold endeavour that marked one of the earliest English efforts to establish a permanent colony in the New World. But it was far from easy. The settlers faced hostile relationships with local Native American tribes, who were understandably wary of the newcomers encroaching on their lands. These tensions often led to violent confrontations, making daily life perilous for the colonists. Additionally, the settlers struggled with scarce resources. Food and supplies were limited, and the harsh conditions of the island made farming difficult. To make matters worse, the looming threat of the Spanish, who had their own ambitions in the New World, added to the colony's troubles. After a year of hardship, the first group of settlers, disheartened and weakened by their struggles, decided to abandon the colony and return to England. Their departure marked the end of Raleigh's initial attempt, but it was only the beginning of the mystery and legend that would surround Roanoke for centuries to come. But Raleigh wasn't ready to give up. In 1587, he sent a second group of settlers to Roanoke. This time the colony would be led by John White, a seasoned navigator and artist. White's group included women and children, marking the first time that families would attempt to settle in the New World. In 1587, John White left the colony to return to England for supplies. His journey, however, was delayed by the Anglo-Spanish War, a conflict that kept him in England longer than expected. 3 long years passed before White was finally able to return. When he finally arrived back in Roanoke in 1590, what he found was chilling. John White, the governor of the Roanoke colony, had been away for 3 long years, seeking supplies and support from England. His return was supposed to be a joyous reunion with his family and fellow settlers. Instead, he was met with an eerie silence. The colony was abandoned. There were no settlers in sight, no signs of a struggle, and no trace of the community that had once called this place home. The houses stood empty, their wooden frames creaking in the wind. Personal belongings were left behind, as if the settlers had vanished into thin air. It was as if time had stopped, leaving behind a ghost town. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a post and CRO etched into a nearby tree. This single word was a beacon of mystery, hinting at a possible destination or reason for their disappearance. But what did it mean? Was it a message, a warning, or a clue to their fate? This cryptic message would be the key to unraveling the mystery, but at the time, it only deepened the enigma. Researchers and historians have speculated for centuries about the meaning of Croatoan. Some believe the settlers sought refuge with the Croatoan tribe on nearby Hatteras Island, Others think it could have been a sign of distress or a marker left for future searchers. Despite numerous theories and investigations, the fate of the Roanoke colonists remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. For centuries, historians have wondered what happened to the settlers. Did they perish? Were they killed by hostile forces, or was there a darker secret? But the answer might not be as tragic as it first seemed. Recent archaeological discoveries on nearby Hatteras Island have uncovered new clues. Pottery shards, pieces of English weaponry, and artifacts that date back to the late 16th century suggest something extraordinary. The settlers may have integrated with the nearby Croatoan Tribe. And it doesn't end there. DNA tests on the descendants of the Croatoan people show surprising results. There are traces of European ancestry, suggesting that the settlers may have survived and blended into the tribe, living among the Croatoans for generations. This discovery turns the old narrative of tragedy into one of survival and adaptation. And just when we thought we knew all there was to know, another twist in the tale emerges. Letters discovered in the British Library, written by a British nobleman in 1600, reveal something extraordinary. It appears Sir Walter Raleigh may have orchestrated the secret relocation of the settlers to another colony far inland. This letter suggests that Raleigh, fearing Spanish interference, might have moved the settlers to a hidden location, one that remains undiscovered to this day. The lost colony of Roanoke is no longer just a tragic story of disappearance. It's a tale of resilience, survival, and perhaps a secret history that's been waiting to be uncovered. As more discoveries are made and new theories emerge, the story continues to captivate people around the world. And it's not just academics diving into the mystery. The story of Roanoke has gone viral on platforms like YouTube, where people from all corners of the globe are sharing theories, discoveries, and reenactments. The lost colony, once forgotten, is now a trending topic that's igniting the curiosity of millions. In the digital age, history is no longer confined to dusty books or forgotten archives. It's a living, breathing thing, constantly being reinterpreted, rediscovered, and reimagined. And the mystery of Roanoke has found a new life in the hearts and minds of people everywhere. Perhaps the lost colony was never truly lost. Maybe, just maybe, the story of Roanoke is one that's still unfolding right here in the 21st century, and the final piece of the puzzle may be closer than we think. What do you think happened to the lost colony? Let us know in the comments below.